Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, this is from Times Union. It's not Scientology, but I feel it's very related. Feds seek testimony of ex-Shen student allegedly AR'd by Niere. Oh, she was 13 at the time, just so we're clear. Woman told TU that NXIVM had began assaulting her in the 1990s when she was in 7th grade. You see how they try to get around the age, you guys? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? By Brendan J. Lyons. Updated April 23rd, 2019. You see how they keep saying a woman? 1970s, if they would have had this article, it would have said 13-year-old girl, put her name. I don't like that they're calling this child a woman. And maybe I'm too picky, I don't know. A woman, here in her 7th grade photograph, alleges that in 1990, she was drawn into a sexual relationship with Keith Raniere. Do you guys see what they're doing? Are we saying, well, coercion means rape? When you coerce a 13-year-old to have sex with you, when you're like an adult, a grown man, that's rape. Into a sexual relationship with Keith Raniere after he offered to tutor her in Latin and algebra. I'll bet he did. Where are the parents? I know stuff happens, though. I'm not going to be... you got to vet people. Albany, a woman who was allegedly raped as a 12 and 13-year-old. In the early 1990s, they got that right at least, by NXIVM co-founder Keith Raniere, may testify at his upcoming criminal trial to buttress the Justice Department's charges that he sexually exploited another underage girl in 2005. You guys know there's more. There's more. Listen to this. Federal prosecutors. Imagine that, federal prosecutors prosecuting Keith Raniere for all the doings in his cult, but yet Scientology still sitting over there with all those children, being essayed, being physically abused, neglected. Federal prosecutors said too many years have lapsed. Isn't it always the same story, you guys? Isn't it all? We need to change the laws then. Said too many years have lapsed to file criminal charges in the earlier case. This is for raping a 12-year-old. But they said the woman's accusations from the 1990s incidents, which were first disclosed in a 2012 Times Union series on NXIVM, should be allowed into evidence to demonstrate Raniere's alleged pattern of sexually abusing young girls. They're just finding loopholes. They don't want to prosecute these pedophiles. You guys know. The charges of child exploitation and possession of child pornography are part of a broader racketeering and conspiracy case, oh, what a nice word, against Raniere, 58. You guys ever see him? He's nasty. And apparently the people that were in his cult said he smelled. He didn't even bathe. He also is accused of multiple acts of fraud, identity theft, money laundering. Oh, sounds like Scientology. sex trafficking, forced labor. That's Scientology right there, forced labor. And altering evidence in a federal civil case. Looks like the laws are going to have to be changed regarding child sex abuse. They're going to have to be changed. Niere is scheduled to stand trial on May 7th. During the past month, his 5 co-defendants, television actress Allison Mack, NXIVM president Nancy Salzman. I always wondered why Nancy didn't get more punishment, too. Her daughter Lauren Salzman, Seagram's liquor fortune heiress Clara Brofman, and former NXIVM bookkeeper Kathy L. Russell all pleaded guilty to federal criminal charges. Scientologists, you should get ready. If you're involved in these things, you're going to jail as well. That's my opinion. A portion of the indictment against Niere alleges he sexually exploited and took sexually explicit photographs of a 15-year-old Mexican girl in November 2015. In 2012, the woman profiled by the Times-Union, and whose identity was not disclosed, said she met Niere while trying to adjust to a new life after moving to Clifton Park in the 7th grade following her parents' divorce. They make that sound like she's living on her own. She wasn't living on her own. Her mother had worked for Niere's members-only buying club, Consumers Byline, Incorporated, which was later shut down amid allegations it was a pyramid scheme. Imagine that, you guys. The mother had jumped at the chance when Niere offered to tutor her child in Latin and algebra for no charge. Isn't that weird how they say she jumped at the chance? I find that kind of weird. Like, maybe the mother did jump at it, but I don't know. I just find it kind of weird that they said that. One of Niere's longtime girlfriends, Pamela Kafritz, had also hired the young girl to exercise her dog twice a day. The woman told the Times-Union that Kafritz, who died in 2016, yeah, go back and look at all his girlfriends that died too. It was really weird, creepy, had encouraged her to visit a townhouse that Niere shared with other women. That's grooming, you guys. She said Niere urged her to talk about her life. Grooming. Taught her how to hug pelvis to pelvis. Oh my God. And gave her a necklace that had a heart with a stone in it. Is that like the necklace or the ring that Michael Jackson gave one of his victims? She said Niere took her virginity and she thought that sex was just part of fitting in. They told me I was smart and took an interest in me, and they let me spend every afternoon at their house. She told the Times-Union for the 2012 story, "It was exciting to be somewhere where people wanted me. I was perfect picking." Yeah, just like the children in Scientology, right? Perfect victims. Insecure at the time, to have someone that mature and that well thought of to be interested in me. Yeah, little did she know. It was flattering. I was young, inexperienced, overwhelmed, out of my league. She said Niere repeatedly had F's with her in his townhouse, in empty offices. What a filthy pig he is. Ugh. In an elevator and in a broom closet at the plaza that housed Consumers Byline. He's so disgusting. The dozens of sexual encounters, that's coercion. When young people are coerced into sex, that's rape. So, just so we get that clear. With Niere, changed her emotionally and she began skipping school and running away from home. That's trauma. In 1993, about 2 years after their relationship ended, the woman reported the sex with Niere to police. Why are they saying sex? Somebody clear it up for me. I want to know why they're saying sex. That's rape. R-A-P-E, rape. 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 A Shenandoah School District document shared with the Times-Union indicated the woman had received counseling for victims of rape before filing a report, that's my opinion, with state police. But the case went nowhere. Oh, as usual. You guys know. The woman said she had declined to wear a wire and confront Niere to capture any potentially incriminating statements. He took my innocence, she told the Times-Union. I can never get that back. Now federal prosecutors want her to tell her story to the jury that is scheduled to hear evidence in Niere's criminal case. Yeah, because forcing any kind of sexual contact of a child with an adult, that's rape. That's why the feds want them. That's why the feds want her to tell her story, because it's a crime. In a letter to the court filed last weekend, the government noted that in a criminal case in which a defendant is accused of child molestation, or rape, more like rape actually, a court may admit evidence that the defendant committed any other child molestation. See, they're downtroddening it as well. Molestation's a little bit different. Not that it's not important, that's a crime as well. The testimony will be used to support the allegation that Niere had a sexual interest in teenage girls, prosecutors said. Yeah, it's called pedophilia. The sexually explicit photographs that Niere allegedly took of a 15-year-old Mexican girl in 2005 were discovered when FBI agents raided a Half-Moon townhouse in March 2017. Half-Moon townhouse. The townhouse on Hale Drive in the Knox Woods development had been nicknamed the Library by Niere, who repeatedly had sex there with an actress in her 30s. Identified in court filings only as Jane Doe 1, who has been characterized by federal authorities as a victim of sex trafficking and forced labor. The nondescript townhouse is a short walk from the small residence where Niere lived for more than 15 years before his arrest at a luxury resort in Mexico 13 months ago. In the Times-Union's 2012 series on NXIVM, another woman, Gina Melita, said that she was 15 when Niere began having sex with her. You see how they word that, you guys? Maybe I'm a little too sensitive, but I think what I'm sensitive about is valid. And that was dated April 23rd, 2019, from Brendan J. Lyons. I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night, wherever you are. Peace.